Imagine a financial institution, older than the United States itself. A bank founded in 1762 that financed the Louisiana Purchase and managed the British royal family's wealth. It was called the Sixth Great European Power. Now imagine that entire 233-year legacy, that untouchable empire brought crashing down by one man. A single, ambitious 28-year-old trader. His name was Nick Leeson, and his catastrophic gamble would cost £827 million, more than double the bank's entire capital. And lead to its sale for a symbolic £1. How could one rogue trader, operating from a small office in Singapore, dismantle an institution built over 2 centuries? The story of Barings Bank is a chilling testament to unchecked ambition, systemic failures, and the devastating power of a single secret. This is Barings Bank, a name synonymous with tradition, stability, and power. For generations, it stood as a pillar of British finance, a bedrock of the global economy. Yet in the early 1990s, the old guard sought new frontiers, venturing into the high-stakes world of derivatives trading. This is where we meet Nick Leeson. Young, driven, and without a college degree, Leeson was a plasterer's son from Watford, eager to prove himself. Barings sent him to Singapore in April 1992 to head their futures operation, Barings Futures Singapore, or BFS. His role involved trading complex financial instruments, derivatives, essentially bets on the future price movements of assets like stocks or commodities, without actually owning them. Think of it like betting on whether it will rain next week, rather than buying actual rain clouds. What Barings didn't realize was that, in this distant outpost, they were handing Leeson an unprecedented and ultimately fatal amount of power. Leeson's authorized job in Singapore was low-risk arbitrage. This meant exploiting tiny, fleeting price differences for the same financial product on different exchanges. Buy low in one place, sell high in another, pocket the small but reliable profit. It was a tedious, methodical process, but Leeson wasn't content with small, reliable profits. He began to make outright, highly speculative bets on market direction. And for a while, it seemed he couldn't lose. In 1993, Leeson was credited with generating £10 million in profits for Barings. His reward, a staggering £130,000 bonus on top of his £50,000 salary. He was hailed as a rising star, a golden boy for the venerable bank. But even as champagne corks popped in London, a dark secret was already festering in Singapore. What Leeson's superiors didn't know was that by the end of 1993, his hidden losses already dwarfed his reported profits. The seeds of disaster were sown in a fundamental flaw in Barings' internal controls. Nick Leeson was made general manager of Barings Futures Singapore, giving him control over both the trading desk, the front office where money is made, and the settlement operations, the back office that records transactions and verifies trades. This is like a casino, allowing a dealer to also count his own winnings. It was a catastrophic breach of basic risk management. In July 1992, Leeson opened a secret error account, numbered 88,888. He reportedly chose it for its auspiciousness in Chinese numerology, hoping for good fortune. Ironically, it would become the symbol of Barings' demise. Whenever one of Leeson's unauthorized speculative bets went wrong, he would funnel the losses into this clandestine account. Then he would falsify records, making it appear as if London needed to send vast sums to Singapore to cover margin calls, the collateral required for his legitimate client accounts or arbitrage trades. In reality, these millions were propping up his spiraling hidden losses. By September 1992, the 88,888 account was already $8 million in the red. But Leeson believed he could always double down, always win back what he'd lost. What he was doing, however, was digging a deeper and deeper hole, unnoticed by London management. The warning signs were there, but Barings' London headquarters, blinded by Leeson's reported profits and the allure of high-risk trading, chose to ignore them. Throughout 1993, even as Leeson was celebrated for his £10 million profit, the hidden losses in account 88,888 ballooned to £23 million. London continued to send hundreds of millions of pounds to Singapore without sufficient scrutiny, believing it was for legitimate client activities. The bank's management, including executives like Peter Norris and Andrew Tuckey, simply trusted their golden boy. By December 1994, just weeks before the bank's collapse, the losses in account 88,888 had reached an astronomical $373.9 million, roughly £208 million. This was a sum that should have triggered alarm bells loud enough to be heard across the globe. Yet the complex web of false invoices and manipulated records, coupled with Leeson's unique control over both front and back office, allowed him to keep the charade going. The entire bank was unknowingly marching towards an abyss, fueled by ambition and a fatal lack of oversight. What was about to happen next, however, was completely out of Leeson's control, and it would bring his house of cards crashing down. Leeson, now a desperate man, was caught in a vicious cycle. The more he lost, the more he bet, hoping for a miracle. On January 16, 1995, he placed a colossal $7 billion bet, staking everything on the Nikkei 225 stock index asterisk, not asterisk falling. The next day, January 17, 1995, disaster struck in the form of the devastating Kobe earthquake in Japan. The Nikkei 225 index plummeted, and Leeson's gargantuan bet imploded. His hidden losses surged past the bank's entire capital. There was no coming back. On February 23, 1995, with the scale of the catastrophe becoming undeniable, Nick Leeson fled Singapore with his wife. He left behind a handwritten note on his desk, a stark, almost pathetic confession: "I'm sorry." The very next day, Barings officials in London finally discovered the secret account 88,888 and the true, horrifying extent of the losses. The search for a bailout began, but it was too late. The venerable institution had been bled dry. On February 26, 1995, after a desperate, failed attempt by the Bank of England to orchestrate a bailout, Barings Bank was declared insolvent. The 233-year-old institution, which had survived wars, depressions, and countless financial crises, was gone. Total losses amounted to £827 million, or $1.3 billion. The bank was sold to the Dutch bank ING for a symbolic £1. The human cost was immense. Approximately 1,200 Barings employees lost their jobs overnight, their careers and livelihoods shattered. Shareholders lost their entire investments, and countless individuals and institutions, including pension funds and even Queen Elizabeth II, reportedly lost significant assets. Peter Baring, the chairman, retreated from public life, his family's two-century legacy irrevocably tarnished. Other executives faced investigations and were disqualified as company directors, effectively ending their careers. Nick Leeson himself was arrested in Frankfurt, Germany, just a few days after fleeing. He was extradited to Singapore, where in December 1995, he was sentenced to 6.5 years in Changi prison for fraud and forgery. While incarcerated, he was diagnosed with colon cancer and divorced by his wife. The golden boy's life had become a ruin, mirroring the bank he destroyed. The collapse of Barings Bank was not just a story of one rogue trader. It was a cautionary tale of unchecked ambition, systemic failures, and a culture that prioritized profits above all else. Leeson's unique dual role, a glaring violation of basic risk management, allowed him to operate with impunity for years. His story serves as a stark reminder that even the most established and historically significant institutions are vulnerable. But Leeson's personal story didn't end in prison. After serving over 4 years, battling cancer and getting divorced, he rebuilt his life. He became a football club CEO, a private investigator specializing in financial misconduct, and a public speaker on risk management, openly expressing regret for his actions. The lessons from Barings Bank resonate to this day. The allure of quick profits, the complexity of derivatives, and the critical importance of robust internal controls. They are lessons the financial world can never afford to forget. For the Collapse Files, I'm your host, reminding you to always look deeper, because the cracks in the foundation are often invisible until it's too late.